What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of the Crane Kick Selects podcast. Tyler here. We got Dylan. We got Jessica. After our break, we had to go without some women's soccer and then away days now in Brooklyn, handling business. But we're back in the mix. We're going to talk about that match. We're going to talk about, you know the drill by now. Basically the theme is the women are rad and can do no wrong. I mean, we were joking beforehand, and it's like, how many different ways can we praise this women's team? Because, whenever things are like back and forth with our teams, it's like, all right, let's kind of analyze what happened here, and then like maybe talk about who would be good to replace somebody here, and then what are we going to do about this problem? And then we get in here and like, okay, we're winning and everybody's scoring and everybody's assisting and everybody's passing and everybody's blocking shots. So ready, break.
Yeah.
but we're going to get into it nonetheless. Since it's been a minute, let's just see how everybody's doing. Jessica, what's up? How's everything going?
Not much. I'm going to be in Tampa this next week, which I'm very excited about. I get to see the LSC Tampa game, so that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that for sure.
That's going to be sick. That's a cool away day to go to, especially, you get to see Maddie probably in action. I'm assuming she'll be in the lineup, in 18 at the very minimum.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the vibe if she manages to score? What's the reaction in real time there?
I mean, as long as we still win, I'm going to cheer. Like, I'll still cheer for Maddie.
Okay. Yeah. Like, good job, Maddie. We're up 3 goals, so I can cheer and feel okay.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, just knowing Maddie, I would probably still be just as excited, even if they were somehow able to beat us.
What happens though whenever the whole team looks directly at you as you're the one person wearing green in the crowd, and they're like,
"Oh yeah,
I know that woman," and they remember it forever. So it's an awkward situation, isn't it? It's kind of like with Abel Caputo, how he just won not only the Players Shield but the championship with 1 knocks in League One. And it's a lot of conflicting emotions there. You know what I mean? Like, I congratulated him, like, man, awesome job. Like, that's great for you. I'm super happy for him. That's really, really cool to see a former Green, especially one that we all really liked him. It would have been cool if he had gotten to stay with us. But at the same time, it's for like 1 knocks. And yes, the rivalry, it's definitely fizzled out now. Like, it never really gained a ton of traction in the first place, but now it's just like pretty much dead and gone. But still, there's that little piece of me that's like, I can't really do like a big post being like, yay, 1 knocks. It's more like, yay, Abel. Conflicting emotions there. That'd be a cool away day. That'll be pretty sick. Yeah, Dylan, what's up with you, man?
Doing all right. Kind of getting over having COVID. My wife and I had COVID, so we were sick and kind of like shut in for a while. So kind of like finally getting out of it and getting back to normal. So.
I feel that pain, man.
Yeah,
my kids like had a whole week of like puking and then a week of being fine, and then the oldest gets sick with like random allergy stuff, and now my youngest is sick, and so it's just like a revolving door. Somehow I've like managed to fend it all off, which only means that it's gathering steam. It's like going through and raiding all the lesser villages to take on the actual stronghold, aka me, because that's what always happens. It runs through the rest of the family and picks up steam, and then it's like, you're next, buddy. And I'm like, dang it.
You're going to get
powered up.
All of it at once.
Yes. It like reaches its final form and then gets to me. And I'm like, oh, hopefully not. Keeping fingers crossed there, because can't be affording to get sick right now. Well, that's a bummer. I'm glad you're at least somewhat better. You got your tea? Tea? No?
Yes. Yeah. Drinking hot tea.
I knew it would be tea.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the cure. Underrated stuff right there. I'm assuming it's not just like a dump of sugar, right?
No.
It's the herbal stuff.
No, it's like honey and just black tea.
Nice.
I did that just to get everybody to attack you and be like, well, my grandma said you got to drink a gallon of sweet tea to feel better. So now you've been exposed as a northerner.
It's true. I mean,
Um,
that is like a really big difference to me. Is like what
mm,
is I like, it's iced tea back at home, and then
yes.
like
If you
here
want
it's
it
sweet
sweetened,
tea.
they give you sugar packets.
Yeah,
Gosh. Yeah, I can't do sweet tea at all. It's that northern. We just
yeah.
can't do it. Um, yeah, no way. Well, all right. Before we get into some LSC stuff, I know that we had somebody ask, Eric, our guy, he had asked us to maybe talk a little bit about some moves made by the MLS recently, which, you know, as much as there are some people out there like boo MLS, only USL, and that we have a lot of people in our fan base that are completely cool with both, which is understandable because soccer. You still can't ignore any moves that they make, especially because whether you like it or not, in a lot of senses, it's a competing league, right? You could say not so much because we're not currently operating at a D1 level at the men's side, but still we're vying for fans, we're vying for people to get in the stadiums. You're trying to make sure that you have an attractive product, you have players at a high caliber playing for you, you have all those things going on. So of course, any move one league makes, the other one has to pay attention. That's just how it is. Like, I'm sure, as much as MLS probably feels like USL is relatively small potatoes, the fact that we have intentions to go to pro rel probably on their radar. MLS has announced that they are moving to the European schedule. So they will be playing essentially what our women's team plays those same months, obviously, with that break instilled right there in like that December, January window. Because let's be honest, you're not going to go to many places in the US and be able to play very many matches in December and January. I mean, obviously, there's a few. You can, adjust your schedule to be more southern, but still, it's tricky. So Eric was asking kind of our general feelings on that, reactions, kind of what we felt as far as like the USL, what that means for us, if it's something that we're paying attention to, and maybe being like, hey, maybe we got to do that now too. So this one is like it's kind of tricky, right? We've dipped our toes in on the women's side, and I mean, we know how it is. Like attending some of the women's games, weather is not
It's
ideal.
rough.
Even in Kentucky, yeah, even in Kentucky, it there were a lot of games last year where you had to be weather equipped to
Hmm.
even somewhat enjoy the atmosphere of the game. I wouldn't even say you could enjoy the atmosphere. It was enjoying the product on the field more than anything.
Hmm.
Um, and in the articles they were talking about how with MLS doing this, it really only impacts like 9% of matches. So like 91% of their matches would still be in the window that they were already in, and the remaining 9% would now be outside of the former window. And of course, none of this is happening until like 2027 for MLS. So there's a little bit of time until this takes place. I think summer of 2027 is whenever it officially kicks off. So it's not a massive change, 9% when you really think about it, but it is going to change, right? Obviously, they'll probably try and schedule things to where instead of people playing in Minnesota, they're probably going to be in like San Jose or somewhere like that, right? Um, Kind of thinking of it at a like surface level, beyond just like the weather type of deal, you also have us just being aligned with the world calendar. Japan is moving towards that too, where everything's going to start lining up, and all of these top level leagues across the world are going to be playing in the same windows. That means transfers are going to be able to happen in kind of the same windows, off seasons in the same windows. And that's really, I mean, honestly, beneficial if we're thinking about like how to grow the game here and attract talent here, and opportunities to snag players and bring them in. So there is that benefit to it. But I don't know. What do you guys think in general about the idea of them moving and just what it means for soccer in the U.S.?
Jess.
I don't know.
It's
I feel
tough,
like,
right?
yeah, I feel like I'm not experienced enough with the MLS. Yeah, just we haven't really watched a ton of MLS, and so I'm not as familiar with the inner workings of all of that. But I mean,
Right.
but just speaking to the Gambit Super League schedule, um, I yeah, it is challenging, and so I wonder too. Then, just in that scope of schedules, how they would do international, like when certain players get called to international duty, stuff like that, and how that might impact from a recovery standpoint. I feel like it's beneficial because they get some time if there's injuries and they get some time to recover. So thinking about it from that angle, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't have a
No,
ton of.
that's a really good point, Jessica, because that is something that I'd seen brought up a couple of times is, one of the benefits is those international windows lining up a little bit better as far as like you're getting your national team call ups. Great example is Nayoung Shin.
Mhm.
Last year we went without her so much, or Yannick, right? Yannick for the
Yeah.
men's team. We went without him a lot in year 2 because they were getting called up for their national team. And that was great. That was super awesome. But maybe if those windows aligned, we wouldn't have had to go without those key players for so many matches, because then they leave, they show up for their camp, they play their games. It takes a minute for them to get back. They do get back. They have to get over jet lag and whatever else is going on, work their way back into the lineup. Um, even if we go further back, at one point, Amal was out on international duty and he came back and his spot was taken for a brief moment after he left. And so you have those little like wrinkles in your lineup and kind of what you're trying to build as far as continuity. And of course, you're always going to be happy for those players. You want them to
Mhm.
shine on that stage. That's something that's huge. We've talked to players before where they said, "Man, like a national team call up, that's a big deal. That's something that's super awesome. I'm super proud of doing that." So you want them to have those opportunities. So in a sense, it kind of gives us a little bit of leeway for that. That maybe we don't really have at the USL level right now.
Mhm.
I think maybe it's like you said, tough to say, Tyler, one way or the other, if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I think maybe it's a good thing for the MLS, but it's maybe also a good thing for the USL. That way, the USL can differentiate itself from the MLS and be like a competitive thing, while also having the Super League in that format already too, to make sure that there's year-round USL soccer, of a top tier quality. So I think there's an aspect in that. So I think maybe it is a good thing for maybe everyone. I don't know. Like you said, it's really tough to say. Um, yeah, I think there's the international breaks always cause some issues. I think working that out would be wise. To maximize recovery time for players and just make sure they're getting the benefits that they need. Um, yeah, I really, it's really really hard to say one way or the other. I mean, I'm inclined to, I'm kind of like a USL homer because that's where
Yeah.
Lexington is. Um, So I'm inclined to just say, this is our lane, and so I'm just rooting for us. And I kind of,
Mhm.
MLS is MLS, and you know, I don't necessarily care that much. I mean, I care, but not like in as intensely as I do about USL.
Yeah, that's fair. It The whole promotion relegation thing was kind of like our stick to set us apart, and now it seems like MLS is like, okay, well, we're going to go with the European calendar. That's going to make us feel more legitimized amongst the world stage and people that are fans of the sport. the thing that kind of seems interesting to me is Forbes had an article come out earlier today, actually. And so former U.S. Soccer Federation President Alan Rothenberg, he actually mentioned that in his mind, and obviously he's got a lot of expertise on the subject, in his mind, promotion and relegation was on the horizon for MLS, but now it feels more imminent than it used to because of this schedule change, which if it did happen, it might be further down the road than our intentions, right? Because USL, the intention is 2027. We got promotion relegation going off, but MLS may not be on that exact timeline because they're just going to be switching to the new calendar in that same year. But if they eventually change to promotion relegation, that'll be really, really interesting to see what happens, right? Because I mean, you have like MLS Next Pro. You have obviously the USL tiers. And in that same article, he had mentioned that he doesn't think that there's an actual, what did he say? Like a strong, I was going to say viable, but I think he just said like a strong second division in the U.S. He seemed to think that the USL championship, obviously, was a far cry from MLS, which, I mean, yeah, the championship has some space to grow, but he was talking like it was like, yeah, it's basically USL2 or MLS, which I think is a little unfair, especially when you think about, MLS and what they've got going for them. I don't know that they have anything that necessarily could say it's a higher quality product than a Division Two that already exists in the USL with the championship. So, I don't know, but if the MLS decides to take that route, it's going to mean a lot of interesting things for the USL. And who knows, from all accounts that we've heard, not very many owners in the USL are super hyped about the idea of the men's sides going to the European calendar. Maybe that stuff changes if certain pressures appear because of this new move from the MLS. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see what direction and what action the USL takes to try and see if, like, okay, this is how we stay on track and stay relevant and still do our things. And maybe that just helps us. Maybe we have more games that aren't under the shadow of MLS for the men's side. Maybe that kind of gives us a little bit more time in the spotlight because we have some games outside of their season that get picked up by some networks to be featured. And then all of a sudden you have more eyes on us. And, I'm not saying it'll overtake MLS by any means. The MLS is so established at this point, but at least help grow what the USL is. And, we of course always have those like speculations. Like I've seen people always be like, well, what happens if USL just gets absorbed by MLS? And maybe it does. Maybe that's their ultimate like grand scheme. Dr. Evil turning in his chair with his hairless cat, Pinky in the corner of the mouth, be like, and then we absorb USL. And that's kind of the end of the story. Who knows?
Well, and one thought I had while you were talking about that, it's interesting in the us versus them mentality when if the goal is to grow soccer within the US and build up the sport, I feel like it should be more of a partnership and less competition. Like why wouldn't you want us to everyone to succeed? Because then if we help each other, we all succeed. Like if more people are coming to watch soccer games, then if you're growing the sport, then why be like, oh, the USL,
Lapsing
why?
capitalism. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, but still, I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's really like how people should be. I just think that a lot of people are like viewing it, at least people in power are viewing it as like, no, we're not letting them have like a seat at the table. No way, this is not happening, because then they're going to take a piece of the pie that we want, which is unfortunate. Because you're right, it would be nice if everybody was like, no, let's grow the game. That's what's most important.
Yeah.
And I even see like MLS fans being like just weird about the USL and just like elitist about it. And it's like, chill out. Just be glad that there's lots of soccer to enjoy. Instead, there's so many people like I see online, like man, I try and stay off like Twitter as much as I can, but I still run our account on there. But it's so difficult to like go on there and see people that are exclusive MLS fans just constantly crapping on the USL and being like, you could never bring in one of these players. And I'm like, okay, but it's still fun soccer. Like, what's the big deal?
Right.
What is it?
Unless it's El Paso. Sorry, had to.
Unless it's El Paso. Yeah, unless it's El Paso. That's right. Yeah. If El Paso doesn't have any haters, it's because I'm dead. Like, for real,
had to throw that in there.
Hey, I love you for it.
I think, a point against, them saying that they don't see that there's like another, something close to a second tier in, I would be the Open Cup, and how well that our teams in the USL perform and against MLS teams too. And it's like the MLS teams that are winning are, they have bigger budgets and, facilities and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, they're probably going to win, but, to show that their games are as close as they are, and, and to see that some USL teams win,
it's not a complete blowout. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the guy's just saying that because he's mad that the USL is actually competitive to the MLS. I think every move the MLS makes is like a reaction to the goodwill that the USL creates.
Mm.
And I don't know. I feel like it's so funny too, because I always see people talking about like, well, yeah, in the Open Cup, the MLS teams are playing their second string and then they're beating you guys. And I'm like, yeah, but it's a close match. It's never a blowout. So doesn't that just prove that the second string for a first team MLS is the same quality as a championship team, which in effect makes our D2 effective? Like, that doesn't that prove the point that they're holding toe to toe, that that is that level. Like, yes, your people that are your second or third string in MLS, that's probably your D2 stock. And they just happen to be there because they need some extra people to fill out that roster that are okay with getting fewer minutes and will cherish those little extra opportunities, as few as they come. I mean, even think about how many players we even fielded that weren't starters in the MLS, but we gave them opportunities here and they did great, and I thought that they were amazing talents. I don't know. It just seems like a little bit of a slight that was unnecessary to be like, yeah, USL's not even close. It's like, tell me you don't watch
closer
USL.
Than you think.
Yeah, tell me you don't watch USL. It really is. And we're not even saying like championship is apples to apples with the MLS. Like, we understand they're able to garner and down, like, they got Son, right? They've got Messi. They got all these people that have come in. So we get that. Nobody's arguing that the championship is pulling in talent higher than that, but like, it is an effective D2. Like, there's not really a whole lot of water to say that it's not, in my opinion. But that's just from my perspective. I don't know. Somebody that's more big brain than me probably would feel differently and might be right. I don't know, but it just seems silly. In any case, I don't know. This definitely, I feel, changes the future of things for all of U.S. soccer. And there will be conversations, I'm sure, in the USL where they're talking like, okay, well, this is what they're doing now. We're kind of the oddballs. Do we follow suit? Do we use this as another differentiation point? What do we want to do about this? And it'll be interesting to see like how this all grows. I mean, obviously, it probably wouldn't happen before that 2027 Pro Rel, or maybe Pro Rel gets pushed back more, and then they do say, oh, we're switching the schedule first too. But I don't think that would happen. But you never know. I don't know. I'm not in those boardrooms, and it could go down. In any case, soccer's changing. It's kind of wild seeing it just like morph into something more global, I guess, for the U.S., from the U.S. side of things, I should say, because we always felt very different. And now it feels like our leagues are starting to kind of adopt and conform to more of those world conventions and become more of like a global entity versus just like, oh yeah, we have a team in this random city and our mascot is a flying pig. I don't know. I'm sure Cincinnati has something like that there. We'll see. All right. Let's leave that on the side. Let's just get into women's team talk. This game with Brooklyn. Man, who's going to stop us? Who's going to stop us?
I don't know.
Who is going to stop us? Like, who was it that Nicole Vernis? Oh my gosh, she commented
Yes.
on one of our posts and was like, "Can we get a
When are
real
we?
challenge?" And I was like, "Oh, I love that
Yeah.
spice. I love that spice. Let's go."
I
But
don't,
I mean, seriously though,
getting a
I don't
pretty
know.
big head about it though. I'm like,
I know. Feels
I
good.
feel like I feel like we will be humbled at some point, but at the same time, I'm like, I'll let the head get bigger.
Yeah.
I'm loving this big ego. Like,
Yes.
I'll take it.
Lean into the ego, like because
Yeah.
everybody's always like, "Oh, just be careful because the bubble will burst," and like then like everybody's gonna be like, "Oh man, like now we're in dire straits." Blah blah blah. You could end up like Brooklyn last year and do amazing and then flounder. I'm riding this wave. I'm embracing it while we can. Because if you're just gonna like live waiting for the bubble to burst, that's not living. And especially our fan base, we deserve this.
Yes.
So deserve this. I think we said that last episode too, but like, man, oh man, this is just pure bliss. Going into matches and being like, I know you can't hang with us. I know you won't hang with us. I know it's a lock. Like, it, just how like the depth of our team too, right? I mean, we all talked about how like I think I can't remember if we all did, but I know I predicted like Kinsey was probably going to be a starter whenever the season was first on the horizon. I think you guys had mentioned that too, that you thought so. But now she's coming off of the bench, and now she filled in for Amina because Amina was out, and
Yeah.
it appears based on the report that was released, it's a lower body injury, but who knows? Might just be minor. I hope so. But having her come in and start and then immediately have an impact,
Yeah.
Yep.
like nobody is safe from anybody on our team. It's just becoming very apparent that we can just put out who we want to put out and do our thing. And we've had challenges along the way. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we definitely have, and not just like first couple week challenges. There's been a couple times, you know, like we had that Carolina game where we're like, oh man, they're actually a team that has our number, I think, and we pulled off a draw. It was fine. You know, we've had those moments. Spokane, we've not managed to beat them yet. They might kind of have our number a little bit, but nobody can really say that we are not that team. And week in, week out, we are proving it. That sequence, let's
Oh
just talk
my
about
gosh.
that. That led, oh yeah, to the McCain goal. That sequence that led to that goal. What the heck? Have you seen a prettier sequence in your entire life of just
No.
team soccer,
Yeah.
I
team
loved
football?
I love Kat's move when she got the ball
Mhm.
before she passed it to Almer. It was just
Yeah.
like the way she juggled it in between her feet. It was really nice, and just like the way you just pass to the open person, and when you didn't have something, you passed it back to another open person, and then you eventually got to move forward with the team. And there were many times when we were like pinned back and then everyone started to move as a unit, like up the field together. And that's just like
Mhm.
how like it encapsulates the whole game and the whole,
The
like
whole
team.
team. Yeah.
Like they just play together the whole 90 minutes, from beginning
Mm-hmm.
to end. They're just playing as a whole cohesive team. And, that 16 pass run is just like it just embodies the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It was like watching them play, and I don't want to disrespect Brooklyn, but it was like watching them play a lower tier team, what they did to them in that sequence, because you just saw Brooklyn's players chasing them, trying to press, but
Yes.
really all they were doing was chasing them and like falling into the trap of opening space.
Mm-hmm.
And our players, like what this really showed is their connection with one another is unmatched
Mm-hmm.
because so many of those passes were bang bang.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost all of them had zero hesitation. It was passing to you, passing to you, passing to you, passing to you. There wasn't like any, what do I do? What's happening? Oh no, there's pressure. I need to dribble around. Like everybody was just pinging the ball back and forth to each other, and it was perfection. And I think that that speaks to who our team is and the fact that we are at this level that, of course, it's not going to happen every moment of every game. Not every game is going to like have 90 minutes of perfect passing that ends in a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Just not. But that one instance alone proves our level and just who we are. Because a lot of sequences that you're going to see that end up in a goal like that, they aren't quite that fast.
And
They don't
clean.
necessarily, yes, they don't necessarily involve that many passes that are, like you said, that clean. We just were working on a whole nother level. We
And
just were.
and didn't like I almost feel like every single player other than Kat Asman like
Yeah.
had some role in that too.
Yes.
I mean I didn't actually go through and see confirm that, but I feel like almost every single player touched it
Yeah. Somebody had
Yeah.
posted on the IG. I meant to double check it, but I think it's right from what I remember from watching it like the
with the
40 times
sequence.
that I did. I think it was like
Yeah.
Allie, Cat, Addie, Cat, Taylor, Hannah S, Bourgeois, Allie, Taylor, Hannah S, Addie, Allie, Bourgeois,
Yeah,
Sarah,
everyone touched it.
Taylor, Toddy, Kinsey, Addie. Like it, it just was sublime. Like
Yeah.
that's what you want to see out of your team, and I just feel like we're on cloud nine right now. And not only that, we ended up matching the league record for an unbeaten streak, 11
Mhm.
games. So we go another, we make history, and then we now have the record for the longest unbeaten streak.
Mhm.
We just need one more. And like we as a club tend to be on the wrong side of those history making moments. I mean, like Addie McCain even did it to us, right? She's one of the perpetrators. I think we were the first hat trick scored by a player in league history at her not her expense, at our expense, but from her production of that hat trick. And we've had a lot of other moments like that too, where it's like first, and it's always not a good first. And it'll be really, really cool to see us potentially extend that record. And I'd love to see us take it past 12. I want to just
Yeah.
keep going. I want
Oh
us to
yeah.
make the type of record that is nigh unbeatable
Mhm.
and would take a team of just that most ridiculous caliber. Like they'd have to like get Trinity Rodman, who's a free agent. Could you imagine if we got Trinity Rodman? It wouldn't happen, but wouldn't that be hilarious? Wouldn't that be hilarious if we were just like, hey guys, we signed Trinity Rodman today. I had a moment where I was like, what if? Even though I know there's no way she's destined for like some European league or something, but man, but this is I don't know. Sorry, Dylan, go ahead.
No,
You're gonna
no, no, you're totally fine. I was just gonna say that it's almost automatic that once we get into the final third that we can score just on like throw-ins alone. So like if
yeah,
the ball is in the final third and it goes out in our favor, then we can throw a ball into the box
yeah,
and it automatically makes it dangerous. So
Yeah.
we have such an advantage just in that, like no matter what side of the field they're on, they're gonna have they're gonna have Hannah throw the ball in, and it's gonna get really far. And oftentimes we've scored on those,
Mhm.
we've scored on those throw ins or we've scored on set pieces, and so we score again from a throw-in. Mackenzie's goal, which was awesome. It was an absolute burner that she kicked. And yeah, just off a throw-in. It just we just always have that in our bag, and I don't know how you stop that.
Right. Yeah.
What is she up to now with like? I know there's only one assist like to her name, but let's be honest, like she's had a lot of throw-ins that I would say at least counts for a hockey assist. What is Hannah S up to now? Like
probably
3 or 4?
Yeah, that would be my guess.
I know for sure 3, but I want to say there was a 4th in there somewhere. I might be misremembering, but like, how sick? How sick is that?
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't know. Like, she's always like joking whenever I make one of our posts calling her QB1. She's like, "You guys are hilarious." And I'm like, "That's just the
for
perfect
real
nickname. That's the perfect nickname." Like, and I absolutely love when when I watch like other soccer games, and somebody tries to do one of those long throws, and it's just like, bloop. And then I watch Hannah Sharts do it, and she's like, "Just so you know, this is gonna rocket right into the 6, and you're just gonna score off it, okay? That's the plan." And I'm like, "Gosh, what an arm! What arms? I don't know how she gets that type of like force behind it to get it right into the box like that, and with such accuracy. And everybody else has all the gimmicks like the flip throw-ins and stuff. Like we don't need a flip throw-in. Get yourself Hannah Sharts and then come talk to us. Like it's cool. It's cool to see.
Yeah,
it has me even like worried that an opposing team, if we go to like for an away match, that they might like tighten, the boundaries, like their border, because like Premier League teams do that. Like when they know a team is really good at throw-ins, or like they have a person that like they do that. There's been an instance this year, I think, in the Premier League, someone's been accused of doing that, to I can't think of the word, to like hinder someone on their throw-ins. So like I'm genuinely worried that would happen for us because of how dominant we are in those moments.
But she doesn't even take a big run up.
She really doesn't.
No, like
and
one
not
or
compared
two?
to a lot of players.
Yeah.
There's so many players that I see that take like 7 steps back and then they run and chuck it. She just like stands in place and just flings it. She's like a human catapult. I just like watch it. And I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like you could be playing in the NFL right now. Like it's dangerous. Yeah, I absolutely love it.
Like comparing hers to Kendall Burke's, hers are better. Like because Kendall Burke, he can do the same thing, but she does it better. Yeah.
Kendall has a pretty good throw-in, but nobody has a throw-in like Hannah. I've not seen another human being that has a better throw-in than Hannah. Like it's so good. And this game just had a lot of those really, really cool moments. The only person that ever really felt threatening was Cook. She was kind of in her face a couple of times. There was that one where she like turned messy mode on and did a little bit of fancy footwork in and around our box and kind of juked a lot of our players, to be honest. And luckily she curled it a little bit too wide when she took her shot. I think that Kat had it covered anyway. I think she would have got on the ball no matter what. But that moment was probably the only moment where I was like, ugh, don't let that happen. But I think overall we did a really good job of shutting her down and handling our business. It was a really, really clean game. And I think our subs were handled well. I know Jess, you even like texted us in it and she's like, perfect timing. Because we didn't wait too long.
Yeah.
We got subs in a really, really reasonable time frame. And I don't feel like we had any drop off. I feel like we still stayed in control of the game. I think our game plan changed a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think it was so much go straight for goal, hammer them in. I mean, we're up 2. I think it was more of that mindset of like, don't park the bus, but you don't have to be quite as urgent as we were before, which I really like. I did enjoy that because I feel like I've not really noticed Mac ever take that park the bus approach. If anything, it's more like, hey, we're going to hold possession a little bit more and be a little bit more careful and methodical with this, but we're still going for goal. It just might be at a different pace than what we were going before. And I think that that's really been something that's worked for our team so far. Because in the history of our team, of our club, we always do that thing where we go up goals, no matter if it's the men's or the women's side. Over the years, we go up goals, and then it's like, okay, just absorb pressure for 30 minutes. Just do that. Just absorb pressure for 30 minutes. Okay. Can you do that for me? We don't do that. We don't even let them have the chance to pressure more than a handful of times. We control the pace. We set the pace, and I think it does a lot for us that teams know that they can't just rely on us passing until we mess up, because we're never actually going to do anything to try and score. That's not who this team is. I think teams understand, they might be kind of slowing the pace down a little bit and playing a little bit more possession, but they're still also looking for those moments to catch us off and then get a goal. And so that keeps them on their toes. And I think that's really been a big part of what's helped us be in the situation that we're in. I mean, go ahead, Dylan.
I was going to say one thing that I think is really important to take from this game is we did all this without Amina too.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have yet to even mention her name other than the fact that Mackenzie started over her. Really,
Yeah.
like she's such a big part of this team and how we move through the offense.
Yeah.
And to not have her is I kind of I wasn't worried to not have her, but I also was like, oh well, that's really unfortunate to not have her in the lineup. Did you guys feel the
Right.
same way?
Yeah, because I believe in our team, but I
Yeah.
think it was like you said. I think it's from a standpoint of Mac doesn't change the lineup unless it's a necessity, and
Mhm.
so then you're like, well, change to the lineup. What happens when the lineup changes? Because we've not seen this change unless it's been like a sub late in the game. So then there's those like question marks of, okay, is everything going to be okay? Is it going to be the same vibe? So I agree.
Yeah, it's just like we did very well, and we didn't even need the player of the year, from last year.
Yeah, because we're such a good team.
Yeah.
That's just so amazing.
It's not
I
dependent on one person. It's dependent on the
Yeah,
whole team working as a unit.
yeah. And it is kind of validating because, again, perpetually online for all this stuff. But, and I think, Jessica, you might have seen this conversation play out, but in like some of the other like grander USL discords, people were like, well, yeah, of course, Lexington's doing great. They went and bought all the best players. And it's like, I'm going to stop you right there. That's been our MO for years. And we have still not been able to do anything. The difference this year is the chemistry with the players, not just the talent. That has been one of the biggest things, and the coaching staff. Like those two things have been the game changer. We didn't just go out and be like, okay, who's most like Lionel Messi that we can sign? We've gone out and been like, okay, who can work together well and also is a great individual talent, and who can lead them. And then we got all those things together in the most perfect storm. And it's kind of hard to believe, honestly. I don't know if it is this way with you guys, but it's almost surreal.
Yeah.
I feel like
Completely.
I'm like in one of the Matrix pods. Somebody's gonna unplug me and they're gonna be like, surprise! You didn't win any of those. I'm gonna be like, plug me back in.
It feels like so wrong to have this much like belief in the team.
Yes.
And
Just
joy.
like yes.
Joy, yeah. Yeah. Not so much believe, but like joy and just like comfort. Like I don't go into games stressed.
Yeah.
I go into games being like, you know what? Somebody could beat us one day. Somebody will beat us one day. It's a possibility. It's somewhere down the road.
Just doesn't feel like today.
Yes. And it never feels like today. It never does. Never does. And that is such a nice feeling to have going through this. And, as we continue to go forward, it's interesting because a lot of the other teams have had some weird games where they've lost to teams that you're like, oh, they lost to that team? What's going on here? And I feel like there's been a lot of like shifting and moving across the league, and like teams that had momentum are kind of having a misstep here and there. Teams that were misstepping really hard are starting to kind of maybe find a little bit more of their footing. And so it's funny to see how, like, basically the whole second half of the league is getting really, really compact, right? So, like, even Tampa Bay, who is not doing so hot, they're up to 9 points. So, I mean, between ninth place and fourth place, there's only a separation of 5 points, which isn't that
Jeez.
crazy for this point in the year, right?
2
That's
wins in
easy
your
to make that
back.
up. Yeah, and that's good. And I mean, honestly, you could say that too, even in our position. Fort Lauderdale, they're on our heels, 1 win.
Yeah.
They're tied up with us. So there's a lot of close spots in the table. That's very interesting. And it is kind of like crazy to me too, because I feel like if we were rolling like this last year, nobody would even be touching us. For as good as Brooklyn and Dallas and all them were, I feel like we'd be like doing really, really well for ourselves in this first half. But we have to keep it up. One cool fact, I know people have probably pieced this together or seen this, but actually, our goal differential is up to plus 15 now, which is the wildest
Insane.
thing. With the wildest thing, right? Plus 15 goal differential. The next closest goal differential is plus 2.
That's
And
nuts.
then after that, it's 0. There's
That's
one other team with plus
insane.
2, like with a positive goal differential, and everybody else is 0 or negative. We alone, which at the same time, you're almost like, man, how are we not like that many more points above people? But I think it just took some time. It just took some time for us to find who we are.
Yeah.
And we found it. Like, I think we're there.
So with Maddie being signed and in the lineup for Tampa, I have watched their past 2 games, and one of the biggest things I noticed with this game this past Saturday between Fort Lauderdale and Tampa was the entire game. Both sides, the whole game just felt frantic and kind of chaotic.
Yeah.
And just as far as the gameplay. And so comparing that to Lexington and what we've seen, I feel like we're so much more composed with our playing style. And it's really interesting. And yeah, it's so fun. I love it.
It is. And that's cool to point out. I'm glad that you've been locked into those games. I've caught bits of Tampa's last couple games because, again, cheering on Maddie. But you're right. I think that we're at a state of composure. We're in our flow state. We got this. We're just kind of we're doing our thing, and I don't think that there's going to be a team that's going to find it easy to shake us out of that. And I don't think Tampa's going to be them. I don't think Tampa's going to be them.
No.
I think we get that record
Yeah.
this weekend. I think
I'm feeling
I think
it.
that's a done deal. And if it starts going wrong, then I don't know. Maybe Maddie will do us a solid and produce an own goal for us, just for old time's sake. I'm just kidding. I would never ask her to do that. I felt even bad saying it. I would never ask
How
that.
dare you?
I know. But hey, like, the important thing is, I mentioned our goal differential. We're finding goals, and that we had a moment early in the season where we were struggling to do that. And I think as long as we continue to find goals, it's a lock. And we just have so many people contributing. Another fun fact about our goal differential is we have as many positive goals, right? Goals for, as 7 of the 9 teams have points on the year. Isn't that a fun one too? I love it. Only 1 team has more goals, more points than we have positives to our goal differential. We're machines. Ridiculous. If we're like looking forward into the future, like we've got Tampa next. Then we've got Spokane again. We got DC, who DC is all of a sudden starting to kind of like find themselves a little bit. And then we've got Dallas before the break. That's it before we go to the break. Who out of those teams do you guys look at and you're like, they're the one that we might have to figure
out? I think Spokane.
Yeah.
We have kind of like yet to crack them fully, so I'd really like to beat them and get a win against them. I think that would be my pick from the options.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Just with the 2-0-0 ties. And I mean, we technically had a 0-0 tie with DC as well. I'm not really worried about Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah. Spokane's like, they're that team for me that I'm like, we need to beat them. Based on last year and this year combined, like they're my team right now that I'm like, yeah, you all need to lose 3 points. That's who I want. So I think they're my final team right now that we need to beat. Like we have to beat them and then send yet another message. Because right now they can say like, well, you haven't beat us this year. Played a couple times and you haven't been able to beat us. Like, sure, you've gotten draws, but like whatever. I want us to be able to go in there and snag 3 points off of them and then say like, okay, check. We did that. So yeah, I'm in agreement with you guys. I think that's the one that it needs to happen. Sorry, Dylan, go ahead.
I was going to say, I genuinely feel that we can win out.
I think so.
All of them? Yeah.
I think so.
From the,
yeah,
till the end of the break.
I think it's very possible.
Yeah.
Because again, like no offense to Tampa, but I mean they're just now starting to do a little bit of something, but overall they've just not really been the team that's that scary. Which of course those are the ones that sometimes get you. I will say. Yep, exactly. Right. So we want to avoid that first and foremost. But looking through the rest of the list, I feel like it's definitely doable. I mean, honestly, there's not a team in the league that I don't feel like we can't beat. I really don't.
That's my thought.
Yeah, there's not one single team. Like last year, you would kind of look around at the team and be like, ooh, that one's a little bit of a dicey game, I don't get that sense at all now.
Yeah.
Like, bring it. Just bring it. Just come on. Like, we are the ones. And that's what you have to do whenever you're at the top of the table. You have to be ready for that energy, and that every team is going to be sitting there being like, mark your calendars against Lexington. Mark your calendars. Because now, of course, with us having that tied longest unbeaten streak, every team wants to be the team to break it. Every team wants to be the one to break it.
Yep.
and I just,
when you're number one, you have a target on your back the whole time. So you always have to play, knowing that.
Yeah.
So here's my plan for us. We just don't let anybody beat us. We win the Players' Shield and we win the championship, and we go undefeated for the entire thing.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that. Yeah. Simple as that. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Calling Mac now, letting him know that's the game plan.
Man, if I was thinking of that Instagram post they did with his talk to the players before the game, my goodness, if I had a coach giving me that pep, I would feel invincible. So
I love his pep talks.
Yeah, holy smokes.
Like that's the energy you want. And he doesn't even like sound cocky when he says the things he says. He just says it like
it's a fact.
We know who we are. And like, I know that you guys are going to do what you're supposed to do. And nobody's taking these points. That's simple as that. Because
who do you think you are? I am.
Sorry. Yeah. Who do you think you are? I am. That's a good reference, Dylan. I love that. I love that. So I think that we're good. And John was asking us kind of what we need to do about going into the break. Because as we all remember, last year, teams did some weird transformations over the break. Brooklyn just unbeatable. They were just on a roll. So
Mm-hmm.
good. They go into the winter break. They come back, and they're like, "What are soccer? Who is ball?" And they don't do anything. And then Spokane did like the reverse, right? They were also like they were struggling at first, and then they came out of the break and they're like, "Oh, guess what? We're going to try and make a run for playoffs." Okay, sound good? And it was the weirdest thing. And of course, you have all these teams getting player acquisitions over the break. People are resting. Some people are taking different approaches to the offseason that may have been detrimental or may have helped them. You had coaching changes. We had coaching changes. It just a lot happens in that. So I think that for our team, it's going to be absolutely pivotal that we do not lose momentum no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's a matter of maintaining the same mindset more
Mm-hmm.
than anything. And so I see us, if we can finish off this first half of the season unbeaten, everybody's mind's going to be on that throughout the
Mm-hmm.
off season, not the off season, but excuse me, the break. They're going to be thinking, okay, rest my mind, rest my body, get ready for this. But I'm going to stay ready even through the rest because I want to continue this because this team just has that vibe of like we don't want this ever to end.
Mm-hmm.
They know how valuable it is, and I think that hopefully the fans are helping them see how valuable it is to us too. And so with all of that combined, I think that we can do what we need to do. Now, of course, we have to consider teams that we play after the break may very well not be the same team that they were. As we just said,
True.
coaching changes happen, player changes happen. A lot goes on in those few weeks. So our biggest task is to be ready for whatever changes do occur and realize when we come back out of that break, we are not necessarily playing the same teams we had already played.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a whole new world that we're stepping into, and we just have to be ready to play our game and be able to adjust to whatever we need to adjust to. And that's the only way we're going to be successful. Because if we just come back and we're like, oh, yeah, sure, I know that Brooklyn signed 4 new people and has a new coach, but let's just do the same thing we did against them last time. That's obviously not going to be successful. But I don't foresee our coaching staff ever being the type to take that type of approach ever in a
Mm-hmm.
million years. They take it too seriously and it means too much.
In terms of like the how, I don't really know like what the answer is, but it's really just winning. The answer is to just keep winning. You know, don't let our foot off the gas. However that is. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's the answer. Like I don't know how you conceptualize not taking your foot off the gas, but that is the answer. You have to have the same mentality that we've had all season of, we are the number one team, we can beat anyone, and we just can't lose that mentality, during the break. And I'm not really worried about it because, like you said, Tyler, the coaching staff, I
Mm-hmm.
think
Yeah.
that Mac will have everyone on point and have everyone with their head on a swivel, coming into the second half of the season.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I fully agree. I have an idea for your conceptualization of not taking your foot off the gas. If I'm a coach, I'm going to a junkyard, right? We're ripping the gas pedal out of every old junker in that place. And then we're super gluing it to the bottom of each player's right shoe.
A cinder block on
Everywhere they go,
on the pedal.
everywhere they go, people will be like, what's that about? And they're like, all gas, no brakes, baby. and, then, and that's just the team motto forever. And then everybody develops a weird limp because now they have a gas pedal underneath their foot, and then we're not good anymore. So don't go with my plan. That was a horrible idea. Check that off. No.
Ah.
But yeah, I think I see what you're saying though. It's a matter of just staying true and charging ahead. It just never stopping. And I don't know. I don't know where the end of this all takes us. I am just once again I'm relishing this moment where we're at with our club, because we've never been here before. We've never been here before. Never in this position. Multiple weeks at number one. No team really kind of pressuring us. I mean, you could say that they are in the standings, but like as far as like us matching somebody else, just feels right. All right. You guys want to like transition to doing something just a little fun before we close out?
Yeah, why
I'm
not?
just curious to see if you guys got some big brain moves for me today. So first off, swear that you have not looked at any stats in the last like 48 hours.
I've only looked at standings.
Okay, Dylan.
Yeah, I haven't looked at anything.
Okay, because if you're
Shows
lying,
you how much prep we put into this.
Coach Mac is going to be mad at you if you're lying. He told me I'll be very disappointed in them. And I said, don't worry, Coach Mac. It's okay.
I'll be nice list this year.
Okay. All right. Good. Because he'll give you coal. Okay. So I want to know who has the most goals for the team.
It's Addie McCain.
Would you say, Jess?
Tie between Kat and Addie.
Oh, look at that. Yep, Kat and Addie. Wait, she's reading the screen. I saw your eyes move. They scanned. Do you see that? No, I'm kidding. I'm not even looking at you. I'm looking at the stats. Yes, Addie McCain and Kat Berry, 6 goals apiece. We have several other players with more than 2 or more, I should say. Good job. All right, point for Jessica. Okay, Woo. Who has the most assists on the team?
Ooh. Addie? McCain? Again?
Come on, Dylan.
Is it Taddy?
Dylan. It is. Yep. Yeah, she's got 4. Next up is Amina with 3. And then we go down and we have several players with 2. So, yeah. No, Taddy has 4 assists. All right, point each. Who has the most shots on the team?
Amina.
Okay.
I instinctively would want to say Kat, but part of me also wants to say my final answer, Sarah Griffith.
It's Kat Berry.
Kat Berry
leads the team with 19 shots. 19 shots.
Should have gone with my gut.
Next. Addie's got 16. In fact, Addie and Sarah are tied for next with 16. So you were close. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay. So Jess is leading. She's got 2-1. All right, chances created.
That has to be Amina.
Yeah, I'd say Amina.
It is Amina. She's got 22. In fact, she leads the league.
Yeah.
And Addie McCain is second place in the league with 19.
Nice.
So we have both league leaders in chances created.
Missed a game and
yeah,
still
doing the thing, right? Who has the most passes on the team? Most completed passes.
Sharks.
Okay.
That's a really good guess. I'm just going to guess Almer.
It is Pantuso. Pantuso is third in the league with 579 completed passes. Yeah. She's got it. Beast. What about crosses?
Tempted to say Mina.
Yeah, I'm tempted to say her as well.
But who are you going to say?
Final answer.
You going to go with Amina too, Jess?
Bourgeois. I'll mix it up.
Amina. Yeah, Amina is second in the league with 61.
Who has the second most on our team?
Second most crosses. Ooh, I'd have to go further down than what this goes. It won't let me expand it. What the heck is going on?
God, Tyler.
It's out of the top 10 in the
Okay.
league. I will tell you that. So
I'm just really interested to see who the.
But I will tell you guys that like number 10 in the league has 31 crosses. So it would be very much eclipsed by Amina, who has 61.
How much did Amina have?
61.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. And she is second in the league. Then top is 65. So, and that's
Dang.
that's a lot of crosses.
That is a lot of crosses.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. All right, this is a team one. How many shots have we taken?
Ooh.
As a team?
$62.
Oh my God, I think that's a lot.
Hey, our goal
Just like
scored.
Price is Right rules. I'll go with I don't know why 36 stuck in my head.
36. Okay, we will go Price is Right rules with this one because it would be ridiculous if you had guessed the right number. We have 149 shots.
Oh
my God.
We are top of the league in the number of shots.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Shots or just shots on target? Is that separate?
Shots. Just they're separates. Okay. Yeah, this is just straight up shots.
I genuinely was thinking like shots on target
might be closer to what you had.
Yeah.
This is just shots.
Okay.
All right. This one's pretty easy. How many clean sheets are we up to?
5?
Which would be a Cat Asman stat, so
5 or 6. I think it's 5.
5.
5. Look at you all. You're so good. You guys are so smart. So really, my game that we played is just another way for me to say we rock. For the freaking bomb. like every single one of those stats is like top 5.
We're good.
Top 3, most of them. We're good. Jessica won, by the way. Jessica, wanna know what your prize is? I don't know. Dylan, what do you got in your pockets?
High five for Maddie Parsons when I get to Tampa.
I got lint in my pockets.
Okay. Yeah, you get Dylan's pocket lint. That's what you win. And the pride of winning the game. Jeez. But like every time I look at these stats, I just want to do this because I was curious what everybody would guess. I look at these pretty regularly because I'm always curious. And we are always just hanging out in the upper echelons. Mm-hmm. And it is, again, super dope to see. Like, our team could be just like the all league starting 11, like
we'll just pick Carolina instead though.
I know. Yeah, like these weird pity picks where like
Goodness.
We go out and everybody on the team scores a goal and they're like, who made team of the week? Not a Lexington player. And I'm like, what? Scored like 40 goals in 2 matches. What are you talking about? And like our defenders are doing it. Like, what do you want from us? Which reminds me, we gotta get Bourgeois a goal contribution. She's due.
Yes.
She's due. She works so hard. I'm like, I want to see her score.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the celly from her? I bet she would have the coolest celly.
That's so true.
That's one thing epic. I want from our team is like we have really cool like post-game cellies. I want some cool like goal scoring cellies. I feel like a lot of our cellies have been very just
That's true.
I'm super happy and let's
I said that a while ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
but we still haven't fired it up.
Just kind of like, oh, we scored. It's like,
well, yeah,
no, be more excited. Like, show more personality. We want to see more.
Oh yeah, I think sometimes for players though, it's just like you get caught up in the moment and you can't believe you did it, and you're just like, yeah. And so you don't know what to do, but like jump up and down and like give somebody a hug, which is perfectly cool. I totally get it. I want some like choreographed stuff though. I want some like, I want iconic celebrations.
Joe Hafferty backflips.
Yes. Or like a Jago's weird celly, like whatever that is.
Yeah.
Pick the corner flag.
And then
yeah, exactly. Something cool. Bourgeois pull out that weird like cat mask thing that she wore for that one game. Like, I don't know. Like, just pop that on and then do a celebration. I want something real cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's gotta be like a team one too. I want to see like a cool like team, like you know how like NFL always does it. All the NFL like touchdowns always have like those team. Yeah. Oh yeah. You saw it. You saw. You saw the Mason touchdown, didn't you? And I was like, oh no, man. Jeez, I can't escape it. Yeah, that's my wish.
But I also wonder though if, as an expectation from Mac, if it's similar to the we talked about our very first game against Fort Lauderdale, where it was like, yeah, we scored. All right, back to business. Let's keep going.
It's true.
You know, and so I wonder too if he's like, that's not what it's about. It's about continuing to just keep kicking butt, you know. And so yeah, obviously fun sellies, those are always cool, but at the same time, I think it also speaks a lot to the team in general. And also anytime we talk to a player that scores and they always bring it back to the team and the teamwork. Like it's just the vision and the cohesion and that Mac has brought to these women is phenomenal.
I agree. So. You're right. And I respect that, because that really probably is what it is. It's the whole like we've been here before mentality, and we're not done either.
Yeah.
You know, so I do respect that, because there is nothing more embarrassing than like doing an elaborate celebration and then losing.
Right.
So there is a like the other side of me that's like, you know, I'm kind of glad that we score and we just get right back to business, because we know that our business isn't finished. So maybe there's a good compromise in here. If this message can reach Coach Mac, we can go with like the serious all business mode. But when we are in the final and we score our fourth unanswered goal on a team, we got to see one. Okay. Pinky promise, fourth unanswered goal. And it's like the 80th minute. We're going to bust out a really cool celebration. I want like, I don't know. Coach K can like teach everybody how to do his breakdance moves that he does after the wins. And then they all go to the corner flag and do a breakdance. I don't know what it's going to be, but we're pinky promising Coach Mac right now. Okay. It's locked. It's locked in. He's watching this in 24 hours and doing it.
When we score off a set piece, they can pretend to eat chicken nuggies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Chicken nuggies. Absolutely. All right. Any more business that must be handled before Jessica departs for Tampa?
Next women's home game, December 6th.
December 6th.
Let's see, what is the
theme? 2:00.
Yeah, they're both 2:00.
Yep.
Which is nice. It won't be.
It is.
Hopefully not as freezing.
Get our win against Spokane. Let's go.
Promo.
We'll be down in Tampa enjoying the beautiful weather.
It will be nice. I'm excited.
Dealing with rain and wind and leaves.
Gross.
Leaves.
So it's the theme for the December 6th game is Holidays in the Bluegrass. Celebrate the season with soccer, giving, and joy. Bring a teddy bear to bag and throw on the pitch after the first LSC goal and receive a free match ticket. Plus, kids can create their own ornaments in the fan zone. And then December 13th is $1.50 beer day.
Heck yeah.
Yup.
Heck yeah. That sounds perfect.
Beer to warm me up.
That's right. I love it. All right. Well, Jessica will be reporting back from Tampa.
Live, actually.
No. Oh, yeah, live while we're there. Just here at Tampa, we just scored 18 goals. Man, that would be sick. But no, we'll it'll be cool to have you come back and regale us with your experience in Tampa. Hopefully it's a good time. Hopefully it's a big win.
Yeah.
Make sure you have all your green. I know you will.
Of course.
Every bit of green on.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. Even when I'm not at games, I'm most likely wearing LSC stuff. Like that is my wardrobe now.
I've seen you in non-LSC stuff exactly one time. and we see each other a lot.
Probably
Outside of LSC venues, which, to be fair, I kind of do the same. So I can't say anything. But we got to rep.
Yeah.
We got to make sure people know about the
Of
team.
course.
You know, cool. All right. Anything else we're forgetting? Final thoughts? Cool. Perfect. All right. Well, I'm personally looking forward to us extending our unbeaten streak, breaking the league record, getting that 12th one. And I don't want it to just be an unbeaten moment. I want us to like get 3 off of it too. I want these
least.
wins to keep coming. Yeah.
Mhm.
No draw. It's gonna be a win. It's what it's
Mhm.
gonna be. Right. All right, everybody. Until next time. Probably back next week. And then, of course, we'll have just a couple weeks before we get to come out back to the stables in December. So bring your jacket for that one.
Mhm.
Anyway, we'll see you guys again next week. Until then, you know what it is. Come on, you greens.